Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. The savage court is now in session. All rise, because I'm about to give you some psychological nudity. I'm going to talk about a time in America that no longer exists, except in my mind. That's why I'm calling this Come Back America. Now, it may offend some, but that's not my problem, it's yours. It's a world I live in, a world I dream of, a world I remember, a world I want to see again, which can never be. That's why I'm calling this Come Back America. I referenced this picture. It's a little store on Ludlow Street in New York City. It's still there. It's now a nightclub, a hippie nightclub, where the scum of the earth congregate at night to do nothing. But that was a store that gave us our life. And next to the store was a funeral parlor over here. That's where I saw my first stiff, in this place here, over here. Nyberg's Funeral Parlor. This was the antique store here. It's still there. You can go down and visit it. But many of my memories were shaped in that store and in a little attached house, 20 feet wide on a lot 100 feet deep in Queens, New York at 7310 Utopia Parkway, which to me was a paradise, a palace, because we had come from the Bronx in a tenement. In that little house, they scraped together every cent they could get to put the down payment down to buy that little house. I don't know, $14,000 or whatever. You wouldn't recognize it today. It looks like something out of Hong Kong. Dirt and filth in the street, cockroaches running around. Whatever. Things change. Nothing stays the same. So what I'm about to read to you today is one man's view of an America that's dead. That's why I call this Come Back America. If you're offended, I can't help you. If you remember this, God save America, because it's never going to come back. So here we go, for better or for worse. It's called Come Back America. Written today because I'm in a very black place. Borders, language, culture, law and order. Cops were tough, tall men, had to pass stringent strength tests and be above a certain height, below a certain weight. Churches were full on Sundays. Jewish temples were central to the community. Muslims were unknown in America. Women stayed home and raised the children. Houses were immaculate. Lawns were green and cut. Nobody had more than one dog. Everybody spoke English. We all knew the names of at least two military generals. Homosexuals were not gay. They kept to themselves and their own kind. Teachers were respected. Troublemakers were thrown out of schools. Marijuana was smoked by musicians. Heroin addicts were known as junkies, not injection drug users. Street bums were confined to limited skid rows. Shoplifters could be beaten if they resisted arrest. Names of book authors were well known, even by the average person. Women wore dresses and skirts when the chrome was thick and the women were straight. Some even wore white gloves. Only the really mentally ill went to psychiatrists. People swallowed their pain and lived with it. Coffee shops served only black coffee to which you could add sugar, milk, and cream. Wine was either white, red, or Manischewitz. There were no lattes. People, when they died, had funerals and were buried in cemeteries. Only Chinese cremated their dead. A white sport coat and a pink carnation were worn at school proms. Boys married girls, they got pregnant. Abortion was illegal. Cars were loud and big. Come back, America. I want to go home. I want to go home. Men did not cry. Women did not box in sporting events. There were sports for men and sports for women. Trans people limited their proclivity to secret clubs and their own rooms. If anyone molested a child, they were either beaten to death or killed by neighborhood men. Trial lawyers did not flood to class action and mass tort suits like maggots on roadkill. If a loser spilled hot coffee on their laps, they couldn't sue McDonald's. They applied Vaseline to their burned skin. Pornography was illegal and only sold in dirty bookstores in bad neighborhoods. School children are now so dumb they don't know the difference between Mussolini, tortellini, and linguine. The only Hispanics we knew were Desi Arnaz of I Love Lucy. We all loved black ball players and boxers. Good Jews were respected for their business sense and legal acumen. Bad Jews were known as kikes. Good Italians were loved for their restaurants and music. Bad Italians were known as guineas. Good Irish were Irishmen. Bad were mix. Good whites were known as Christians. Bad as goys. Good Polish were Polish people. Bad Polacks. Your mother could walk to the corner supermarket at night. Men in turbans were not your doctors. When you drove into Canada, big white Mounties checked your passports and your car trunk. Nobody came across the Mexican border without papers and a thorough grilling. Come back, America. Come back. That's the whole show. There's nothing more to say. It's 6 minutes long. It's a performance art. If I offended you, I can't help you. There's so much more that can be said, and I'm sure you'll add to it. And I'm sure you'll think about this and pass it to your friends. But all I have to say is something I've said already. Come back, America, an America that no longer exists except in my mind. Thank you for listening. Good night, and God bless America.